Dude, start the podcast. That's a perfect intro. But before you begin an intro, I just want everybody to know that I truly do love Matt. He's one of my favorite humans.
But we're roasting him because he didn't show up for the first podcast.
No,
because he had to work.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He meant to say twerk, but it
auto-corrected. Yeah. Welcome into the Section 109 podcast. We are here from Studio Breezy. We're a little punchy because this is our second podcast of the day, but we are also extremely excited because we have not only Baba Juan, Mix and Toby are here somewhere. I don't know where they are hiding currently. They might have been peopled out, I guess. Matthew is here, Jay is here, and Vic is here.
Dude.
How we doing?
Loving life.
Vic did a real solid during the podcast and brought JP some water, which if you guys watch on YouTube, you'll be able to see probably Vic's hands sneak into the podcast. So shout out Vic, that was clutch.
Yeah, and he also understood my references that y'all didn't, so I felt heard as I was looking over there, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and you guys were like, "It went over your heads."
Yeah.
So I felt validated.
It was
in
good.
that.
Can we fix his mic a little bit?
Who, Vic's?
What?
Yeah.
They need to be turned up.
Yeah.
Turn him up.
Talk to me, Vic.
Turn my mic up.
Yo, I'm here to represent the K-pop stands and the Brazilians.
Okay,
Nice.
there we go. We go.
Wow,
Matthew, do you need more volume? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm okay. As long as I sound okay.
Turn you into producer Matt. Anyway, we're here to talk about some news and updates. Matthew's going to take us through some of it. Do you want to do signings first, Matthew?
No, I want to do it in the order that I wrote the show doc.
All right.
You mean the order that we talked about 10 minutes ago?
Let's
Probably a good idea.
let's rock and roll then. You take us through the first thing.
So the first piece of news is a big one. MLS Season Pass on Apple TV is available with a CFC season ticket.
I was going to let it run the whole time. That's such big news.
There are some caveats here. It's got to be a ticket in the stands and not one on
A GA.
on
the hill.
On the hill, yeah.
No, GA's fine. It's not the one on the hill.
Okay, I got you. Those
Yeah.
are the discounted seats. Right.
So supporters section, good. General bleachers, good. Chair
Seat
backs
bags.
of either persuasion that includes food or doesn't, good. The grassy hill does
good.
not, because that's our cheapest.
Yeah, that makes total sense. That makes.
I mean,
100%
season tickets are already literally stealing, and and this just goes to cement that further.
Totally.
It's the best deal in sports.
It is the best deal of sports. I will note that those season tickets have to be purchased by the end of February.
Ooh, I did not realize that.
Which has
caveat.
29 days this year.
It does.
One extra day. So in order to get MLS season pass, it has to be bought before March 1st.
Yes.
I love business savvy moves.
Did you buy your season ticket, Jay?
Not yet.
You better buy that season ticket.
I've been waiting for this announcement, or because I've heard inklings talking to y'all, figuring out it's been in the air.
I legitimately did not expect this.
Oh, really?
At
I've been
all.
talking to multiple people about it. That they've been saying that. Oh well, I guess I talked to other people.
I'm legitimately shocked. I would
Jay's
have
got some
figured.
sources that I don't have.
Technically, Matt's the most connected here, but yeah,
I would have
held
figured
off.
if this was a possibility, it would have been. We would have seen our season tickets be $300 instead of nearly
right.
$200.
Right. Well, that's why it's so awesome.
And I would, by the way, I would pay an
That
extra
much.
$100.
Matthew, don't
just
say
to
that
have
out
it
loud.
included.
God damn it, Matthew! Don't say that
but
out
hey,
loud.
No, just edit that out.
But what I was saying is I love a business savvy move, where it's hey, here's the thing that we're selling, and here's a really attractive part to that, and oh, by the way, you have to buy it by now, because people like me and other people who might have been on a string are shit, I guess I need to go ahead and do this.
Also, how much would MLS the MLS season pass cost on its own? $120, $100?
If you have
Matt did the math on
if
Twitter.
you have Apple TV, it would be $80. If you didn't, I think it's $100.
So that adds literally $100 in
And-
direct value, unless you were already an Apple TV subscriber, not survivor, and then you add $80 in value. That's phenomenal. Well done, CFC. We don't know all the details, but what we can assume is that CFC had to fight really, really, really hard for this because.
Yes.
This is something that was rumored to go away at the MLS level. I've not seen it announced for any other MLS Next Pro team. So the fact that it's happening for us is awesome.
And I'll say MLS Next News, who we've talked about a couple times, they said that, this is me seeing them as I'm just like scrolling or whatever. They said that this is a club-specific thing.
Yeah.
So
thank you to everybody in the front office, for sure.
So the rest of
their
MLS Next Pro can get fucked.
That's what a faceless Twitter account is saying their sources say. So who the fuck knows what I'm talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Also, one might assume that CFC front office probably had to do a lot of work to get that done. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Whatever
thank you.
happened, however you did it. Like
100%.
So I remember we asked about this at some point, Matt and I did.
Months ago.
And like people that we asked about it were like, not a chance. That's people I talked to were like, not a chance, not happening. Like, and so the fact that it happened was such. There must have been a lot of work, is what I'm saying, to go into it, because I was just told like that's not even on the table.
It's a no-brainer on the MLS and Apple side, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because and like yes, like maybe the season tickets need to be a little bit more
Matthew?
expensive to include the value. I mean, like seriously, the value of Apple of MLS season pass, and take that out of the season ticket. We're working with like $98 for 21 home games, and that's just in two preseason games, 14 regular season games, and then four. We have hints that there will be a friendly at some point announced, a home friendly, and then 4 WPSL games all in.
So
it's less than $5
a match.
a match.
It's stealing, like you said.
It is stealing.
Yes.
I'm just saying I don't want my season ticket to go up, and I don't want anybody's season ticket to go up. What I would love to see in the future, and this is not me complaining, I would love to see there be an MLS what's the term? Season pass, an MLS season pass add-on, like a half price add-on, so that you could have. And I know this may not be possible. So like this is me pieing this guy. This is not me complaining. I would pay for it every time because I want to watch the CFC away games. Yeah. But what I would love to see is like a supporter section ticket. Not some people might not be able to afford it. So I just don't want to see our season tickets actually go up. That's all I'm saying. So
I think that's a fair.
If it were $220 without MLS next season or without MLS season pass, and it was $270, so a $50 pass. Like I think that's an absolute no-brainer. They don't have to do that. That may not be on the table. I'm just throwing it out there that if it ever was just an add-on, I think that would also be dope, and I would be in for that. Because some people don't watch away games.
Yeah.
And some people also just go to the bar and now will potentially just go to the bar every time. So this isn't me critiquing. I don't want to see our season tickets go up. So stop saying they're going to go up or they need to go up. Damn it.
But there is also, like, if you're Apple and you're MLS, like, this is a way for whether it's an out-of-market 2 team or it's an independent team in your league.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, like, they want to drive, just like all major league sports, they want to drive knowledge and awareness of the major league.
Right.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And like one of the ways you do that is like help make it more accessible to people. So like they want me as a Chattanooga fan to watch
the rest of the MLS.
The rest of MLS.
Yeah. I have watched
and I will, like when they're games, like, and I'm available, like I'll absolutely turn it on and
You're
watch.
You're going to watch them when you're not available.
I'm going to watch Vancouver a little bit. I'm going to watch Montreal a little or whatever. Like
I've watched 0 MLS games in the last year. I am likely to watch more than 0 because I will have MLS next.
Right. Absolutely.
MLS, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call. I can't make any MLS.
This is something I haven't thought of until just now. But now we can go to the brewery. Well, if we can't go to the away games, now we can go to the brewery or wherever and have a fucking actual stream.
Hopefully.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Hopefully.
Don't forget these are 2 teams, so they still might be.
But I think they have the infrastructure that's better than. The teams I don't want to like bring up about us going playing and not being able to watch the fucking game.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't.
These teams mostly have home stadiums with infrastructure.
I just wouldn't guarantee the level of production being extraordinarily high until we see it. That's all I'm saying. I just
want to see the grass and the players.
All I'm saying is,
and a score bug. Like
it can't get any worse than what we got from Nisa last season.
Yeah,
like, you literally cannot get worse.
Or Nisa any season.
Were you around during my God, I can't believe I just said those words, my Kuju. Together.
I still have a group chat named after my Kuju.
Oh
Let's-
my God.
Let's transition.
Let's
Yeah,
move
let's
on
get
to
outta here.
the next category, and that category is preseason.
Let's go.
So the men's preseason is undergoing right now. Players had their first day of training on Thursday, February the 1st.
So it's been 1 week.
It has been 1 week, yes. And Saturday, February 10 at 1 Knoxville is the first preseason game. It's closed.
because Knoxville are scared.
Fuck Mark McKeever. The next one and the first to open preseason game is going to be Friday, February 16. That's the blast off battle in Huntsville.
See everybody there.
Blast off the season.
We'll be playing
Alabamers.
We'll be playing South Georgia Tormento of League One.
Yes.
That's at 4 p.m. Central Time. And I
Game 2 days later.
So
too,
5
right?
p.m. here.
5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time. I don't think that's going to be streamed. I think you just have to be there. There is
See everybody at back 40 at 2.
Yeah, back 40 at 2 p.m. Central Time is the meetup for that one. And the back 40 is very, very close to the stadium.
That's a brewery you guys are talking
Yes.
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday,
Jay, we're going down. Let's ride together.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to be there for both games, so I'm down, yeah.
Let's go.
Sunday, February 18,
We
just
can
2
pod in
days
the
later, the second match in the blast off battle for us will be playing the University of Alabama Huntsville at 11 a.m.
Do you know their actual name?
The Chargers?
Nope.
Yeah, it's the University of Alabama Huntsville.
No. Do you know their real name?
The Fighting John Carriers.
Yeah.
The Fighting John Carriers.
Carriers.
Okay.
Yeah, so FC Tulsa had to drop, and Alabama Huntsville is taking their place. I don't know why Tulsa dropped. It could have been a lot of reasons.
I have a conspiracy. Keep going.
Well, they changed their head coach left to go to become an MLS assistant, and they brought in new staff. So it's possible they wanted to do something different with preseason.
Well, mine's deeper. I just don't want tinfoil put on my head like Kelly, so.
That's so fun.
Saturday, February 24th, we'll be hosting UMAFC. It's a UPSL team. I've never heard of it. Don't worry about it. That game is a season ticket holders only.
So
match.
2 things you need to do in February, 2 reasons rather to buy a season ticket: the MLS season pass,
Yes.
and this season ticket holder only game.
Yeah, we don't know the published time on that. I would not be shocked if it's 3 p.m.
I've heard inklings that's 3 p.m.
I think our last preseason game this afternoon was also 3 p.m.
Sounds about right. Saturday, March the 2nd, we'll be hosting Birmingham Legion of the USL Championship. That was our Open Cup foe. It's a regular opponent we've played in probably every preseason as a pro club. That's at 3 p.m. at Finley Stadium. It's open to all, but obviously included with your season ticket.
That's the team we played in, not Birmingham.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
He didn't.
I had a snarky comment whenever we talked about that.
He didn't mention their real name.
the Legion of Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, Tuscaloosa Legion.
Saturday, March 9 versus Tennessee Tempo FC of the UPSL. We'll be hosting them. That's a closed friendly.
And that is
they
like
changed their name from Beeman United.
3 off seasons in a
of-
row we played them, I think, or 4.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
I think the last year of Fuller, first year of Rod, and this will be the second year of Rod. I think that's 3 in a row.
Yeah, I forget exactly. Beeman used to be named after a car dealership, and a really lunatic guy owns them.
Or used to.
Read the local Nashville news. No, he still does.
Oh.
But
Matt Beeman.
yes, sir.
That was all on the commercials.
But if you're a lower division soccer a nutso like myself, you may recognize a name, Poku. Poku played for. Okay, this isn't nearly as fun. Poku played for Georgia Revolution.
No,
way back in the day.
Yeah. What's his that's his last name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Ghanaian guy, played for Georgia Revolution way back in the day. Played for Atlanta Silverbacks.
I was getting ready to say it's just
was
Silverbacks.
was one of the reasons why we got almost mercy killed in the Open Cup against the Silverbacks once. Then he went on to play for
What was that?
New York City FC.
Oh, okay, never mind.
in their inaugural season in MLS. He was bought by Miami FC for like $1 million. Tore up the NASL, was NASL Best 11, bounced around the lower divisions a little bit. Kind of a legend in lower division soccer in this country. Anyway, he still plays on that team
Wow.
along with his brother. He's also like the coach. of that team. It's very, very fun.
You forgot about a player. Bongo.
No way.
Yeah, Bongo did play for him last.
He still plays for them.
Is he still going to play for them? Dude, that's
like
gonna be
I think it's 2 years in a
warm welcome.
I think he might have played for him in the fall as well. That team, by the way, I believe qualified for the Open Cup again for the second year in a row.
We could actually see them in the Open. Genuinely see them in the Open Cup. Could.
And if they and they lost to Des Moines Menace in the first round of the Open Cup,
or we would have,
last year.
or we probably would have seen them.
Right.
And if they had beaten,
No, we
them,
would have because they were the
seen them.
yeah.
So anyway, that's our preseason schedule. So let's get into the roster news.
Let's
have
do it.
9 men's player signings since we actually talked about it on the podcast. So let's just get straight into it. First one is Jesse Williams. He's a right back at Trinidad and Tobago International. He spent 2023 with Des Moines Menace, although that was for the PDL season and not for the Open Cup game. He also spent time after the PDL season with Central Valley Fuego in League One. And this guy, played against the U.S. national team in the CONCACAF Nations League.
Yeah, I saw him and didn't realize he was going to be a future CFC player. Would have paid more attention.
So that was our first signing of a new player, not a returning player,
right, in
the MLS Next Pro era. Next one up is Milo Garvanyan, left back. He played. He's an Albuquerque, New Mexico native. Played 5 years at the University of North Carolina, and then spent 2023 with his hometown, New Mexico United. So he comes to CFC from there. Next up, we have Robert Screen, a right back, a 5-year player from the University of Kentucky, and then spent his first year as a pro with Forward Madison in League One.
Shout out their fans. I remember when they came down.
Yeah, they're great.
That was cool. When they came to the brewery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're great.
Next up, we have center back Duvan Villafara.
Very, very, very excited about this one.
So he's Colombian, has played for several first division teams in Colombia, and then spent the last, I believe it was the second half of 2023 with a first division team in Venezuela.
Cool.
And he'll be joining us. Really exciting player. And I guess with all of these guys, like, yes, all of them can play with the ball at their feet. Like, this is a Rod Underwood team.
We should just come to expect that.
Everybody can
sure.
play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to tell you that now.
Yeah.
Physical imposing presence via Farah, though.
Yeah, so if you watch any video, I just want to pause it in for a second. If you check out, if you Google the guys that have been announced and you watch their highlight tape, not all of them have like a bunch of highlight tapes, but his is particularly impressive.
Cool.
Yeah, he's the only one who I've seen people like retweet a lot on Twitter when he got announced.
Yeah, I looked at his and the other players. I liked them. I'm not no shade at anybody else, but his stuck out. It was like, damn,
nice.
Keeping with the Colombian influence, the next one is defensive midfielder Andres Jimenez Aranzazu. Colombian, born in Miami though, so he'll be a domestic player for us.
Excuse me, sir. He's a US U20 international. Therefore, he is American.
Get ready to
So another Colombian. Yes, he did play for the U.S. U20
and he
national
also
team.
played professionally in Colombia as well. But I just wanted to be
he grew up. His professional career started in Colombia. He spent 2023 with the Las Vegas Lights, and he made 36 appearances for him.
Which
regular player.
Matthew, how do you when you're thinking about a USL Championship player coming in? For me, it sticks out that he had 36 appearances. Does that stick out to you?
I don't have any real inkling because the Lights were a shit show last year. And I don't just mean like they were a bad team. I mean like the Lights were a NISA level shit show. And they've got new ownership now, and we'll see if they become a more just normal team again.
Was Wijnaldum involved with them at one point?
A few years ago, yeah.
Way back in the day.
Side note, 36 appearances. Do we know how many of those were starts or
33?
Okay.
It's a good,
Put that out really fast.
Pretty sure.
I'm just.
I went on a little deep dive.
It was a lot for sure.
It's 30. It's either 32 or 33. I'm pretty sure it's 33. I was really that's why I was curious how I asked Matthew how he felt about it. It's a good, solid league. The USL Championship's a solid league, and 33 starts and 36 appearances total is really good, in my opinion, for like a floor guy. And he has two of the most impressive highlights. Two plays within his highlights where he plays these incredible, like, beats 9-guy through balls.
Line breaking
passes that I hope is a feature that is often used. We'll see.
Dude, that was a heater of a question, though. Well done.
Gotcha.
He's just bringing value, dude.
Dude, yeah, hell yeah.
Let's keep it going.
The next player we have is a center midfielder, Callum Watson.
Yep.
English, spent his first couple years in college at Hastings College, where he was teammates with Danny Whitehall, former CFC player.
Shout out. Scorpion kick. If you don't know about it, go look it up.
Then he had 2 more years.
Watch our goal special.
He had 2 more years at Creighton University, including making it all the way to the national semifinals, I believe, with Creighton. Spent 2023 with Halifax Wanderers in the Canadian Premier League, where he had 3 goals and assists in 24 matches. Callum
never heard of them.
Represents the first ever incoming transfer.
Yes.
For
Very
CFC.
Extremely important. You can hit the bidding or whatever there.
Yeah, that is.
Whoa.
That is. It is a mile.
It's set a little too loud, unfortunately.
All good.
It's just one's louder than the other, unfortunately. I just want to. Now everybody's mad.
That is they are. That is a very important piece. So continue.
It's a milestone. We've sold a player in Ray Lee to Pittsburgh. We've now bought a player.
Does it count as selling a player if we never got paid?
Listen, we can go to FIFA and get Pittsburgh put on the transfer ban list if we wanted to. We should do
allegedly.
That. We should do that.
Allegedly.
Next up is a center back, Farid Sarsar. Argentinian, came to college in the U.S. at Nova Southeastern University in Florida.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Played
Sharks.
25 matches. 20 of those were starts for Inter Miami 2 in MLS Next Pro. He represents the only player on this roster that has experience in MLS Next Pro.
Mm-hmm.
He was the captain at least halfway through the season when he started. I don't know if he started as captain halfway through the season or if he was start from the beginning, but at least halfway through the season he was captain for Inter Miami 2, which is cool. I think something I said on the last pod with JP. I love when a player is clearly a leader, and I feel like you don't get to be captain without being a leader. So the more leaders we got, the better, I feel like.
Yeah.
It is funny that you're calling it the last pod because I think you're going to release them in reverse.
I am probably releasing them in reverse order, but another peek behind the curtain because we don't believe in not peeks behind the curtain. Yeah,
being polished.
Hey,
I don't know
just
about
before
that.
we continue, I just want to say this. You mentioned Bongo earlier. If you want to know more about Bongo, you can go to episode 11.
Let's go. Ooh. He was number 11?
He was number 11. I just looked it up.
No way.
I was scrolling, bro. Yeah, episode 11, Nathaniel Bongo Badai.
Dude, and by the way, one of the most...
date on that?
2019, December of 2019, 12/11/2019.
So
we've been grinding, folks. If you're just catching on,
but that one is not on YouTube. You got to go back to the audio only.
Those are just audio.
By the way, Bongo, and I think that one might only be on iTunes. By the way, I don't think that one's on
Spotify.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. That I did that one in my
old apartment or old house.
In my house in the living room. Matthew, did you do that with me?
Smitty,
me and Smitty.
There's a picture, and you look like the lighting on you makes you look like you are actually dead. It is. I gotta go find it now.
So he was. That was Nathaniel Badai. Might be the nicest
and a huge story.
His story is. Is it okay? Cool. His. That's cool.
I used to use Google Podcasts, and they're discontinuing Google Podcasts and
putting on YouTube video.
So,
YouTube. Okay.
YouTube Music.
So what I want to say about Nathaniel Badai really quick is that he might be the nicest dude, and we've had a lot of nice dudes to ever play for CFC. He is the sweetest guy. His story is unbelievably. Sad's the wrong word. Like
touching.
Yeah, touching, inspiring, like emotional. Like it's a beautiful story. He's the best, and like he has touched me. Like we're not like extremely close, but like as far as like people who I was just like, this is the nicest human, one of the nicest humans I've ever met. He's it.
I feel like those are the same words you could use to describe a Nicholas Sparks novel.
He's a walking, living Nicholas Sparks novel.
Good for him.
That's hilarious. And the story between him and Fuller. And
yes,
you guys had Fuller call in.
Yes, we did.
We talked about his story that way. Awesome. Okay. It's total sidetrack. Sorry, Matthew. I'm going to find that picture so you guys can see it, though. So,
if you send it to me, I'll put it in the pod.
You're very enthused right now.
Last 2 players, Michael Beretta.
Shout out.
Goalkeeper.
Return of Michael Beretta.
Former CFC Academy player. An Academy signing. He's made an appearance for CFC.
Absolutely.
Spent the last 3 years at Dalton State College. Did very, very well for them. 3-year starter. He's 21 years old. Now's the time to turn pro. And I mean, let's not kid ourselves. He projects as our third keeper.
Can I give you a hot take?
But watch out for this guy.
Can I give you a hot take?
In the future.
Can I-
2-year contract.
Can I give a hot take?
Yes, please.
I think you're going to enjoy this. Might be the highest potential player on our team.
Whoa.
Possible?
Age profile 21. He there's a world in which he's playing an actual MLS in a couple years, and I'm not saying nobody on our team has that. Like there's a few guys that for sure have that in their like realm of possibilities. But I would say he is even though he's third keeper and he may not play a minute this year, he could still be in MLS in 2 years potentially.
Well, it's cool because we have the goalkeeping director now too, so like his progression could skyrocket.
Yeah, did we talk about that yet?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
No, yeah, we haven't.
Well, let's do Medi and then we'll get there.
Go.
So the last signing up
Not least.
is
Absolutely
striker Medi Omri. Is how I'm going to pronounce
I
that.
have no clue. Keep going.
It's the most French way possible is condense all these letters into almost nothing.
We.
He was Medi was born in France. He's got Algerian citizenship. He played with the Algerian U20 national team. 12 goals, 13 assists in 2 seasons with FC Montana.
Yeah, that one is confusing to me. I was like, is this guy in the U.S. right now?
In the Bulgarian second division. He played the second half of 2023 with a second division team in Croatia. Scored 3 goals. And now we have him. And he's an interesting one. I mean, he projects once he arrives, he projects to really be our only out and out 9 at this point in time. I think I will note on the player side of things. Now that we're in a league that allows us gives us the ability to receive P1 visas. It's important to understand that's not an instantaneous process.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Even at the MLS level, expedited visas take 2 to 3 weeks to process and to be issued or denied in some cases.
Government takes time.
Yeah. So and it's also important to realize that even if you are in the country and allowed to be in the country, if you do not have your P1 visa, you cannot practice with the team. You cannot play in exhibition games. You cannot play in regular season games. So understand that there might be some time for all of these players, all of these signings that need a P1 to be able to participate.
Yeah.
And that's what preseason is for. It'll give other guys opportunities to get minutes, to get looks. It'll give us a better look and more time for trialists that are looking to fill in other remaining spots in the roster. But yeah, that's just something that our club has not had to deal with yet. And so here we are.
So all in all, that's a good thing because that's showing our progression as a club.
Totally.
As much as it's a little scary, you don't know how many issues that visa stuff's going to produce. It's
To
overall a good thing.
quote the great Olivier, he said, "If it wasn't for fucking visas, we could have a really good soccer team."
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Man,
My guy.
the late great, and that was when it was Hell Yeah Brother in PSL Pro. So
Yeah. Shout out.
So let's briefly talk about JC here.
Let's talk about JC. So I'll read I'll read from the club's press release just a little bit. So Juan Carlos Garzon, formally known as JC. Everybody calls him JC. I talked to John Burke and I was like, "How's the new goalkeeping coach?" And he's like, "JC." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I met JC and he introduced himself, I think, again as JC. So love that.
there's a JC and a JP.
I know, dude. It's so good.
I'm JB.
So JC was AB.
What? Keep going.
He was the past 5 seasons. Besides playing professionally in his youth and futsal, he coached the last 5 years with El Paso Locomotive in the USL Championship. And Matthew and I are very, very big El Paso fans because they are rod ball turned up. So one really fun thing that Matthew and I and a few others did when we went to our California trip is we went to the El Paso game for my birthday. We went up to Great Park and we saw OCSC play El Paso. And the most fun thing about El Paso is they are dangerous all the time, meaning they might score and they might concede at all moments. Their goalkeeper, Benny Diaz, shout out, massive, ridiculous, unbelievable talent, would play in line with the center backs in possession.
Wow.
Not occasionally, like regularly.
That takes
and they would
some
pass
cojones.
exactly, and they would pass between them, and he would like have an on-rushing defender, and he would play wide, and then I mean it was unreal. Not like occasionally stepping up, just like and not like being a sweeper keeper, which he also did. He would in line with the center backs, playing back and forth, so one of the center backs could push further up, and whatever else. It was awesome.
You know what that is? That is in PSL. That is so in PSL.
It was
in a way.
It was wonderfully fun. I don't know if that was a thing that JC is going to immediately bring into our club or not. But what I do know is that they were good at times. But they were bad at times. But they were always very fun.
Yeah.
And this should be, I say, director of goalkeeping as a title is different than just goalkeeper coach.
Right.
There's something to be said about. Sorry, Mick's just scratched the middle of my back for some reason. I was like, what is happening? That is interesting because it's not just saying this goalkeeper coach. He's clearly going to be involved in the academy. I mentioned that to Juan the other day when I was speaking with him, and he said, yes, he's going to be involved in the academy at some point in the future. So, like, that is extremely good and extremely interesting, I think, for us as a club. And I'm very, very, very excited to see where that goes with a really experienced goalkeeper coach.
Those of you who are way inside on the baseball of all this, pretty sure Jordan is still around too, and has accepted another job with the club. Right? He's not. Is he necessarily?
I haven't spoken to him. I believe he is now full time in ops in the front office.
Yeah, which was like kind of half of his job, anyways.
Yeah.
So previously he basically had 3 jobs at once, is my understanding, and so now I think he just has like 1 or 1.5. But I don't actually know that. Jordan's actually like in my top 3 people I want to get on the podcast in the next.
Yeah, we
next little bit.
100% have to get Jordan on the pod.
We need to get him on the pod.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Just we need to. I know. I realized that during the off season, so he's on my list. Anyway, that's JC. Can't wait to have him on the pod and speak with him as well.
So, last piece of news that we'll talk about today. Boys, the schedule was released.
Schedule.
It's finally here.
Dubs all day.
Is it because we forced MLS Next to do it?
I mean, people are only tweeting at them like 6 times a day or something.
I love
so
to
glad.
think that we bullied them a little bit.
I'm so glad they finally released it. Also, now I can plan out my whole year.
Yeah.
When Ella comes home tonight, like we're gonna start
Toronto?
booking things. Toronto. Yeah.
So let's how about
talk.
this? We're gonna go through it. I'm gonna go through it all 28 games.
Do it.
Just line by line.
By the way, I haven't even looked at it because we were recording when it went live.
And then we'll just take a second to like point out interesting road trips opportunities or big home games or whatever.
Let's go.
And then we'll get out of here.
Every home game is a big home game.
Matthew.
We don't miss home games.
That's right. Tell him, Vic.
Gosh.
Saturday, March 16, we kick off at home against Huntsville.
Let's go. That's no surprise that we're playing them. MLS Next Pro is me pumping that up for the big first game.
And a reminder that was already released last week.
Right.
Yeah. We have already known about that. Yeah.
Saturday, March 23rd versus Cincinnati. A week later, then you've got
that's home as well.
Just a few days later, Wednesday, March 27 at New York City FC.
We going to that?
That will be in Queens at St. John's University.
You want to do some shenanigans and go to that?
I will probably have to do my real job.
You want to do some shenanigans and go to that?
New York's always
man.
a fun time.
Saturday, April 13, we've got Fort Lauderdale CF coming to town. That's
Miami too.
Inter Miami too.
Is that the fighting mini Messies?
The mini Messi FC.
We don't talk about him when I'm
Wednesday, April 17 at Kennesaw at Atlanta United 2. Saturday, April 20 at Huntsville. Saturday, April 27 hosting Carolina Core, the other independent team in MLS Next Pro.
And Ellie's most hated team.
So I think in April, those are 4 games in a row that I'm going to 100% be at. Obviously at home, Inter Miami. I'm going to drive to Marietta and stay at my aunt and uncle's house and go to that game. Then I'm definitely going to Huntsville and driving back that same night. And then we have a home game, Carolina Core.
Let's go, dude.
That's 4 not missable.
Little Section 109 on the road.
I'm down, dude. You say less.
Saturday, May 4 versus Orlando City.
At home.
Friday,
At home,
May
yeah.
at home.
He says versus. He knows what he's fucking doing.
Friday,
Sorry.
May 10 at Fort Lauderdale.
May 10.
That's a Friday. Wednesday.
Ooh, a little weekend in Miami, or a little pop down, go to the game, party all night, catch an early flight back home.
Listen, I'm from Miami. I can take you guys some places.
Wednesday, May 15 at Crown Legacy. That's in Matthews, North Carolina at the Stumplex.
We have to go to that, Matthew. You and I, at least.
Saturday, May 25th versus Kennesaw. Saturday, June 1st.
That's at home, right?
If he says versus, it's at home.
I'm not that smart.
You should just keep asking every time.
Saturday, June 1st versus New England Revolution.
Yep.
Friday, June 7 at Chicago Fire.
I'm loving all these Saturday games for us at home. Let's fucking go.
That's in Bridgeview, Illinois, 15 minutes away from Chicago Midway.
Dude, let's fly to Chicago and then and do that game and then fly back Saturday and get on the boat on the way back from Nashville.
Thursday, June 13 at Orlando City.
What day of the week did you say that is?
Thursday.
Fucking Orlando.
Or Orlando City also plays
you say June 13?
in Kissimmee.
Yes, June 13.
Florida.
Kissimmee?
Kissimmee.
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 Mickey Mouse.
Kissimmee right now.
Yeah. Saturday.
Somewhere's offended by that.
Yeah,
somewhere.
And I don't.
I apologize.
I don't.
You don't have to.
For absolutely
I want
fucking
to.
nothing.
Saturday, June 22nd versus Carolina Core. Saturday, July 6th versus Crown Legacy.
At home.
At home?
Yes. That's so big for me.
Damn, that's
Thursday.
That's the day my CISV camp finishes, so the fact that it's at home is so helpful.
Perfect.
Thursday, July 11 at Philadelphia Union. Wednesday, July 17 at Carolina Core. Saturday, July 27 versus Orlando City. Saturday, August 3rd versus Toronto. Saturday, August 10 at Huntsville. Sunday, August 18 at Crown Legacy in Matthews. Sunday, August 25 at Fort Lauderdale.
All these stupid Sunday games.
Sunday, September 1st versus Kennesaw.
at home.
You know what happens, by the way, for anyone wondering, let me pause for a second. All these Sunday games, now that we know that they're probably there are, and I don't know if you've compared yet, they're probably MLS home games that same week, that same day, probably. And that means we will probably, on that Saturday night, we'll probably see drop downs of whoever doesn't play that they want to get minutes. There's a bench player for them that needs the minutes.
I've not done any sort of like schedule analysis yet. But like,
I'm just saying that out loud so that people can start thinking about it. Because I'm thinking about it.
Sometimes not. Where were we?
September 1st.
So that versus Kennesaw. Sunday is September 8th versus Columbus Crew 2. Mm-hmm. Saturday, September 21st at New England Revolution. Sunday, September 29, the away game of all away games at Toronto FC.
We have to go.
Our last away game.
Our last away game.
Even more reason we have to go.
And our first ever regular season international game. And our first ever like game outside of the United States.
Nice.
Except for New Orleans.
And we close the season on Decision Day, where Decision Day will be the entire Eastern Conference will play games kicking off at the exact same time, followed by the entire Western Conference in a different time slot, kicking games off at the same time.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, well, that's traditional to most other leagues in other countries. So
but NISA and the NPSL could never.
No, 100% could never. No.
Sunday, October 6th.
They can barely color inside
the
the
New
lines.
York Red Bulls.
Extremely cool.
Just a quick analysis here. Within 6 hours of driving,
yes,
you've got 2 games at Huntsville, 2 games at Crown Legacy, 1 game in Atlanta, and 1 game at Carolina Core. That's 6 games. 6 of the 14.
Carolina Core's less than 6 hours?
It's right at 6 hours.
Perfect.
It's 5:57.
Okay. I was curious because I haven't looked at where they play.
So it depends how you drive. For some people, it'll be like 5:15.
And for some of us, it'll be like 7.5.
Got it. Yeah.
Matthew and I stop at Hardee's always.
This is Google Maps. This is Google Maps driving time. Within 12 hours of driving, you've got 2 games at Fort Lauderdale, 1 game at Orlando, 1 game at Philadelphia, and 1 game at Chicago.
I think I'm flying to all those if I'm going.
Beyond
Except
12,
maybe Orlando. I might drive
beyond
Orlando.
12 hours driving, at New York City FC in Queens, at New England Revolution in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the New England Patriots play, and then one game at Toronto FC. That game will be in York.
What's a New England Patriot?
It's a baseball team.
Got it. Okay. That's why I wasn't following.
The Toronto game will be in York, on the campus of York University, and also home of the York United FC of the Canadian Premier League.
Of course you did. Yeah.
God, man.
So what? All right, Jay. What are your top away games that you're thinking right now as we read through? You're gonna go.
Give me 5.
Every single one that's under 6 hours.
Let's go.
I mean, I will.
He's got 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly
Toronto?
to at least one. Yeah,
Toronto?
because I got some miles that I need to use, and I told Rachel that I kind of want to bank them for an away game because I've always wanted to go on a long distance away game, but I've always had something come up.
Let's do Toronto, dude.
So I think so.
Look, it's going to be more.
My passport is ready, bro. I'm ready for another
I
state.
have 2 passports that are ready.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Vic. See, here's my pitch for Toronto, y'all. It's going to be more expensive because Toronto's a giant city. It's crossing internationally, but CFC's only going to play internationally for the first time once.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to Toronto. Like, it'd be so cool. And it's a Saturday, right? Did you say? Or Sunday? What day of the week did you say it was?
Toronto's going to be
Thursday.
a Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay.
So, like, we can, the coolest part about that is you can fly on Friday, spend the weekend in Toronto if you are so inclined, and then fly back Monday. The Monday ticket will be cheaper than the Friday ticket will still be expensive, but the Monday ticket will be cheaper. And if you want to do it on the cheap, you could still fly in Saturday, leave Saturday afternoon, fly in Saturday night, have all day Sunday, and fly out Monday if money was a concern.
Or just take a week and eat all the maple syrup you want.
Exactly.
You have options.
Exactly. So like I highly encourage folks, if you can swing it, like, and you want to prioritize one, like the last few seasons a bunch of us have prioritized the California trip. Like I think this is going to be the California trip for this year. It'll be just one game probably. Because last time we've been able to do 2 trips on the 2 games on the California trip.
Yeah, it's just one game. Actually, there's not a. As I look at this schedule, and maybe this is the only like kind of negative thing about it, and I would actually call this a positive because it's kind of rough on the players. There's not really a double up road trip opportunity.
Yeah.
We've been able the last couple of years to do 2 games in California as fans and as the team, and this schedule does not allow for that, and that's kind of good. I will say, if you want to make a New England and an Ontario kind of vacation in the fall, a beautiful time of year,
You're the only one who wants to do that.
Bingo.
the Saturday, September 21 at New England Revolution, and Sunday, September 29 at Toronto.
Yeah, that would be good.
Gives you a pretty decent pairing if you want to do a full week exploring New England and Canada and maybe even a part of Quebec at the same time.
Vic, what are your top few away games?
So being originally from Brazil, but originally from Florida, all the Florida games I want to go to.
Let's go.
Absolutely. I'm not opposed to a Chicago game. Love me some Portillo's, and Toronto for sure.
Hell yeah. Matthew, what are your top away games?
Toronto, and Toronto. I would
That was only 3. We needed 5.
I would fuck off the Huntsville away games, frankly. Like it's good, it's close. They have fans. It'll be fun,
and we're gonna
awesome, great, and yeah, we'll still go. But like
I'm gonna fuck off. But
if
also
you
go.
have if I could only choose one road game to go to,
if you could only choose one, it's
I'm
Toronto.
going to Toronto.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the first international playing outside of the country, besides New Orleans.
My guy.
And hey, the Marlins and Blue Jays play on the 28th, and baseball tickets in Canada are cheap. So I've looked at them before.
By the way, just in case you're curious, York United plays at Hamilton Forge on Saturday, the day before our Toronto game. And you bet your ass I'm taking the GO train down to Hamilton.
I think I've been to that stadium.
we're
I think I watched the
Hamilton
U.S.
right
lose
now.
in that stadium.
You did. You're going back. It's going to be awesome. If I had to pick another game that's interesting, the return to the Stumplex sounds awesome. 2 cracks of the apple on that one.
Do you crack an apple or do you bite an apple?
I have no idea. The Wednesday, July 17 at Carolina Core is going to be obviously hard midweek to do something that's 6 hours away.
What's their town name again?
High Point, North
That's right, High
Carolina.
Point, North Carolina.
But I'm going to try to make that game. It's the only time we go to Carolina Core this year. It sucks that and the only other independent team in Next Pro. It sucks that it's on a Wednesday.
Are they really independent?
Yes.
They sure seem connected to Houston Dynamo.
No, they're just taking Houston
How
rejects.
far of a drive? How far of a drive to High Point?
Like 6 hours.
5:57.
Okay, yeah, 6 hours 30 minutes. Okay. I thought you said 3 for some reason, so I was like, oh wait.
You're looking right now, so it's going to have traffic right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's
just
not
FYI.
much traffic in the middle of the mountains, though.
No, just going up 75, there will be.
No, you don't have to. Man, you rookie, you don't know how to drive to the mountains. You take
Do
70,
Murphy.
You take 74 through Murphy. Yeah, dude. Get
Bro,
out of here,
get
bro.
outta here,
Get
dude.
outta
I
here.
love me some Murphy.
Well, you take that. It's just your shortcut to Asheville. It's shortcut. It's a scenic route.
Yeah.
There's
And
a
then you
really
get on
good
40.
barbecue place in Murphy that also could be stopped on the way over.
I'm down. I was a ref guide up and down that road, 2 Rivers. I love that area. So
If you're
delay
trying
our
to,
trip.
one more that might be interesting. Actually, it's 2 more because there's 2 away games. But we get a Friday at Fort Lauderdale and a Sunday at Fort Lauderdale. One of those in May, one of those in August. Easy opportunity to make a little beach weekend out of that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to, priority-wise, I completely agree with you. Or it's Toronto. I'm going to prioritize anything within driving distance, so all the 6 hour and less ones for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think, I haven't spoken with Ella since this came out because she's at work still, but I think when we sit down, I bet you at least one of those, if not both of those Miami's.
She's going to want to do those.
I think she's going to want to do at least one, maybe both of them. And then Chicago, she's got family in Chicago. So if the Chicagos line up with times she can get off. And we'll have to look at, so one of the problems is right now for us, like I can do a lot of those Sundays. I don't know if she can. So
Yeah.
I have to sit down with those things. But you and I are going to talk after this podcast about some Southwest shenanigans, Matthew, because there's some new shenanigans opportunities that have opened up that we might be able to do some flight stuff. So
Yeah. And like some of these games I will be affected. Like the New York City game, I would otherwise absolutely be all over.
What day did you say that one is on?
Wednesday. And Wednesday in March. So I've still got session going on.
Because that one is a perfect, super cheap one. Because I bet you the tickets are the Southwest tickets will be really cheap for that Wednesday.
Yeah. So like, what I love about this is it's the first time since we were in the NPSL like Southeast Conference.
Yeah.
And this is what happens with our women's team in the WPSL Southeast, and it's great. Like 6 road games
That are truly obtainable.
within 6 hours
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
So if you're watching right now on YouTube, please comment your top road games that you're going to go to. Not only do I want comments for the Algo, I want to know what everybody else is going to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like comment on that, and then please smash that like button because it helps people see this.
Smash the like button.
Smash
You should
that.
also subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah, subscribing would mean a lot to me, but I'm not gonna. I'll wait till your heart tells
so
you.
what you're
to.
saying is they should like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Got
But
it.
also, like, the more than anything, I want to know where people are going. Like, real talk. I want to know where people are going.
Yeah, true.
And why is it Toronto?
And why? Yeah. And why is it Toronto? Like, let's fucking go, dude. Let's all go to Toronto.
Oh man, I would be super down.
Honestly, New York would be. We're only going to New York once. You said.
No, there's 2.
No, we only go to New York once because Red Bulls come to town and we do not return the favor. Man. So we go to New York City, Red Bulls come here.
Because New York
That's
would be
the only New York crossover.
New York would be high on my list for like places that I think I'd want to go.
Do they
for a
play?
game.
Do they play at Red Bull Stadium?
Then they do play at Red Bull Arena.
Red
Bull
Bulls
Arena,
2
I mean, yeah.
plays at Montclair
Oh, never mind.
College.
I thought they played at Red Bull Arena. So,
So we played New York twice, but it's one home, one away. That's what it is.
that makes sense.
And they're different New Yorks.
So cool. Is there anything else? I think that's all of our news items.
Dude.
That's a lot of news items.
I believe that is all of our.
Montclair's in New Jersey, bro.
Well, duh. New York Red Bulls are always going to play in New Jersey. They've always been the
know.
New Jersey Red Bulls.
The New
That's
Jersey
gross.
Red Bulls.
And by the way, the official name of the Carolina Core is Houston 3. I'm just telling y'all, it's Houston 3.
Capital O.
Something interesting about the schedule I will note. You might see a possibility for a game to be moved.
Go on.
The Atlanta the Atlanta United 2 at Kennesaw on Wednesday, April 17 has a possibility of being moved based on the U.S. Open Cup schedule. So if CFC advances to the 3rd round, that match window is Tuesday, April 16 and Wednesday, April 17. So that's something to watch out for.
Right, so that could be a postponed and moved, and then they would have to put us at Mercedes-Benz, right? If they moved the game.
No,
No,
just
we
put
would
us at.
move, not-
Wow, that went way fucking over your head. Obviously, they would never fucking let us play there, dipshit. Jesus, I totally expected you to not shoot me down legit, but like laugh and make fun of me.
No.
Damn it. That's what I was going
No,
for.
first of all, Atlanta 2 has never played in Atlanta, and they never will.
They're never going to. No.
Just rename them the Kennesaw River Dogs. Or
yeah,
something.
and they're gonna do their. If we ever match up again with them in the
Kennesaw River
bullshit.
Dogs.
Can we just call them the Kennesaw River Dogs? I don't think they have a river though, but like whatever.
They got
Whatever.
the Chattahoochee. It's not far. Another river
The
dogs.
Chattahoochee River Dogs.
Well,
the Chattahoochee.
It's just like what happened. I mean, they're never. If we even play Atlanta, they're still going to put us in that exact same stadium, right?
Yeah.
Just like they did the last
Correct.
time in the US
Yes.
Open.
In the Open
Yes.
Cup, yeah.
At least they they didn't move us to a completely. I mean, it's a different city, but it was closer to us.
Yeah, the only thing that was good is because it was helpful to us because it was closer.
You know what I just thought of?
Oh, no.
And we also probably should just shut the podcast down at this point in
I'm
time.
down.
Is that confirmation that Atlanta United's going to enter the Open Cup in the 4th round or not be in the Open Cup at all?
I have no idea.
Because we couldn't have a regular season game with Atlanta 2 in an Open Cup window.
Because they're going to play at that.
Because
stadium.
they would potentially
Oh,
play
yeah.
at that stadium.
Yeah, but they just have it for that night no matter what.
Yeah.
And they didn't they're not one of the 9 teams, are they? Or the 10 teams or whatever that would have the best chance of starting in the 4th round?
I don't know.
Conspiracy time.
Imagine if we went down, had to play Atlanta United in the Open Cup, and then the next weekend, or even like the Wednesday to that Saturday, we went and played Atlanta United 2
in the same stadium.
That would be
funny.
It'd be 3/4 of the same players.
All right. Well, let's leave it there, I think.
Let's wrap it up there. Vic, thanks for joining.
Yeah, dude.
Jay, thanks for taking the day half off and making these 2 podcasts happen. Listeners, viewers, thank you for listening and viewing. Matthew, thank you for putting that news doc together. You rule. Thank you for that, especially for that schedule read through, because genuinely hadn't gotten to look through it. So I was listening along and getting my brain wrapped around it. I can't wait to go on the road with you boys
To Toronto.
I can't wait to be on the road to the Blast-Off battle in a couple weeks.
Wait. We would be on the road to we'll be in the air to Toronto.
That's
Correct.
true.
Correct.
I wanna-
we
I
might
wanna-
drive.
I
You
want to
never
point
know.
out it's not a couple weeks. It's literally next weekend.
It's next weekend.
Yeah, let's go. We'll see the boys on the field, the boys in blue. Love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.